Alright, let's dive deep into the Micah Parsons situation, which has been one of the most talked about sagas in the NFL lately. Micah Parsons, without a doubt, is one of the most electrifying talents in the league, and the fact that his contract negotiations with the Dallas Cowboys are dragging on has been a source of frustration, not only for him but for fans and analysts alike. What's striking is that this isn't some new phenomenon for the Cowboys organization. This pattern of lengthy, drawn-out contract talks has become almost a trademark for this franchise when dealing with their top players. Micah has been open about his feelings throughout this process. While he claims not to be upset by Jerry Jones's comments, even retweeting J.J. Watt's take on the matter, there's a clear sense of disappointment. His agent has reportedly been reaching out to the Cowboys, but so far, there's been no meaningful response, which raises questions about the communication between the two parties. When a player's agent can't even get a call back, it sends a pretty clear signal that something's off. Micah has also pointed out how players like T.J. Watt, Max Crosby, and Myles Garrett have been taken care of by their respective teams, securing their futures with lucrative contracts, while he remains without a deal even though he's arguably one of the best defensive players in the league right now. The Cowboys' approach to contract negotiations seems to be a recurring issue. It's not just Micah Parsons. The organization has a history of letting key players stew in limbo. This happened with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and Zach Martin, just to name a few. In each case, negotiations dragged on far longer than necessary, creating unnecessary tension. It's baffling why the Cowboys keep repeating this pattern, especially since it clearly impacts team morale and creates distractions during critical times, like training camp and preseason. For the players, it feels like an uphill battle, not just on the field but also off it, constantly having to fight to get the compensation they deserve from an ownership group that seems reluctant to act quickly. Micah himself has been pretty straightforward. He's said that his agent has reached out multiple times, but at some point, the ball has to be in the Cowboys' court. Negotiations require communication from both sides, and so far, the silence from Dallas has been deafening. He's expressed a sense of disillusionment, which is understandable. When you're a player performing at an elite level, bringing unmatched energy and results week after week, it's natural to expect that your team values you enough to get the deal done swiftly. Instead, Micah is stuck in a situation where he feels like he's being treated differently, and it's not a good look for the franchise. This isn't just speculation. Analysts and insiders have pointed out that the Cowboys thought they were close to a deal early on, believing they could finalize things without involving Micah's agent. But that approach backfired because ultimately, the agent has to be part of the conversation. If the team is unwilling to deal with the agent, the deal won't happen. And here we are in mid-July, heading into training camp, and still no agreement. The frustration is palpable, not just from Micah, but from fans who have watched this saga drag on with no clear resolution in sight. One of the biggest problems with this kind of delay is that it creates a toxic environment, not just for the player involved but for the entire locker room. When your best player hasn't been paid yet, it sends a message to everyone else that the front office may not prioritize rewarding talent and hard work promptly. It opens the door to rumors, negative speculation, and general dissatisfaction. Fans and media start wondering why it's so difficult for a team with so much money and resources to take care of their franchise cornerstone. The Cowboys' history of slow negotiations has bred cynicism and frustration that's hard to shake. Micah Parsons has also talked about understanding the business side of football, recognizing that if the Cowboys decide they don't want him around, then he'll move on. That shows maturity and professionalism. But it also underscores how the situation is wearing on him. He has a family to take care of, and getting a fair contract isn't just about money, it's about security and respect for what he brings to the team every single day. The fact that this contract hasn't been finalized despite both sides seemingly wanting a deal only adds to the confusion and disappointment. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys ownership have a reputation for being tough negotiators, sometimes to a fault. The comparisons to how the Eagles handle their star players couldn't be starker. In Philadelphia, stars like T.J. Watt get taken care of promptly, reflecting a culture that values locking down talent quickly and efficiently. If Micah Parsons were an Eagle, chances are he'd already be signed to a record-setting deal, and we wouldn't be stuck in this contract drama. But in Dallas, it feels like the focus is elsewhere, on drawn-out negotiations and public relations battles instead of seamless contract resolutions. Micah Parsons' approach to this whole thing has been commendable, despite the frustration. He's shown up to training camp, not holding out, and prioritizing his teammates and the team's success over his own contract issues. That kind of professionalism speaks volumes about his character. He understands that this isn't just about him, it's about the guys around him, the defense, and what he can contribute on the field even while this contract saga drags on. His willingness to show up and be present, even when the business side is complicated, earns him respect from fans and teammates alike. Yet, you can't ignore the signals this situation sends about the Cowboys' culture. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer has talked extensively about the importance of culture and how it affects players. And this ongoing contract mess with one of the team's best players is a glaring contradiction. When a player feels like he has to fight not just opponents on the field, but also ownership just to get a fair deal, that's a cultural problem. It breeds mistrust and frustration, making it difficult to build the kind of unified team atmosphere necessary for sustained success. Micah is smart enough to recognize this dynamic. He knows the pattern because he's seen it before with other players, and that's part of why he's disillusioned. It's not personal, he gets that, but that doesn't make it any easier to accept. This is a bad situation, plain and simple. It's a fight that shouldn't be necessary when the player and team are both on the same page about his value. Instead, the Cowboys are stuck in a cycle of bad management that only hurts the player and the franchise in the long run. On top of that, the constant public back and forth only makes things worse. Instead of quietly negotiating behind closed doors, we get statements, comments, and social media posts that fuel speculation and tension. Micah has clearly won the public relations battle here. Fans sympathize with him because he's the one showing up and performing despite the drama. The Cowboys, meanwhile, look like they're dragging their feet, which isn't a great look for a franchise that prides itself on excellence. When it comes to Micah Parsons' participation in camp, it's been limited but strategic. He's been doing individual drills and staying involved in team activities at a reduced capacity, which some have speculated is a way to avoid injury while negotiations continue. There's talk of back tightness, but that's widely seen as an excuse or a way to protect himself until a deal is done. He's a football junkie who wants to be on the field, competing and dominating, so it's frustrating for him to hold back. The big question looming over the Cowboys is whether they will pay Micah Parsons before the regular season begins. Training camp has already passed without a deal, so that window is closed. The stakes are high, and time is running out. Will they finally get this done? Or will we see another prolonged saga that drags into the season, further clouding the team's prospects? This entire episode reflects a bigger issue within the Cowboys organization, a recurring struggle to manage star-player relationships effectively and efficiently. Fans are tired of the drama, the drawn-out negotiations, and the negative headlines. The Cowboys need to find a way to keep their best players happy and locked in, without turning every contract into a battle. Micah Parsons deserves better than this. The fans deserve better than this. The franchise deserves better than this. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting. As the situation with Micah Parsons continues to unfold, it becomes clear that the ramifications go far beyond just one player and one contract. The Cowboys, an organization steeped in history and tradition, now face a critical juncture in how they handle their most valuable assets. Parsons is not merely a defensive star. He represents the future of the franchise's identity on defense. His unique combination of speed, strength, and instincts has transformed the Cowboys' defense into one of the most feared units in the league. And his absence from a finalized contract threatens to undermine that momentum. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling around the NFL world as rumors intensify about a potential blockbuster signing involving Amari Cooper and the Dallas Cowboys. Sources close to the matter have reportedly spotted Cooper arriving at the Cowboys headquarters, sparking speculation that a major deal could be imminent. According to insiders, the star wide receiver may be on the verge of signing a 4-year contract with Dallas, a move that could reshape the Cowboys' offensive firepower for years to come. Cooper, known for his impressive route running and reliable hands, has long been considered one of the league's premier receivers. After several productive seasons, his potential move to Dallas has fans and analysts buzzing about what this means for the team's championship aspiration. The Cowboys have been searching for a dynamic wideout to pair alongside their established talents, and landing Cooper would instantly elevate their passing game to a new level. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the timing of Cooper's arrival at the team's facility adds fuel to the growing rumors. The 4-year term mentioned by sources suggests a commitment to building a long-term partnership, possibly signaling the Cowboys' intent to solidify their offense around him. Such a deal could also have ripple effects throughout the league, as rival teams watch closely to see how Dallas reshapes its roster. Fans have already taken to social media to express excitement and speculate on what Cooper's arrival could mean on the field. Many believe his presence would open up opportunities for other playmakers, creating a more dynamic and unpredictable offense. However, questions remain about how Cooper will fit into the Cowboys' existing system and how the coaching staff plans to utilize his unique skill set. The Cowboys have been no strangers to bold moves in recent years, and this rumored signing would continue that trend. If the deal goes through, it could mark one of the biggest acquisitions in recent NFL history, positioning Dallas as a formidable contender heading into the next seasons. The speculation is reaching a fever pitch, and all eyes will be on official announcements in the coming days, as the Cowboys potentially prepare to welcome Amari Cooper into their fold. The NFL community waits with bated breath. Will this rumor turn into reality? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the Dallas Cowboys are making waves, and Amari Cooper might just be the missing piece they've been searching for. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.